Welcome to 3 Hour Permaculture. This is February 23rd, I believe, 2019. Doing a quick overview of what's happened this week. Not a whole lot, a few things to update on. I did finish part of the filling in the rocks here around this area, so I got the few more rocks in here, so I'm ready to bring in the last little bit of pea gravel I have to try to finish this section off, filling it in, and then I can go ahead and begin construction on the herb spiral. We're willing next week we can see something advance on that. The other thing I got was a donation of a plant, and you can see over here there's a this is actually a passion fruit, and this is a very tropical plant. It's one of my favorite fruits, not for eating because it's kind of awkward to eat, but for making juice out of. And I had a friend at church, and she didn't want it anymore, so she gave it to us, and that's great, and came with this plant and a few other volunteers that are there. That's great, we'll take it. I'm putting it in this spot in particular for a few reasons. One is that it's gonna have a trellis to climb on, and if it even wants to go farther, I can train it over the top of this gate here and have it keep on going down that way. And that's gonna provide some shade on this structure during the summer, which should reduce the amount of heat that's getting into the building. Eventually, I'd love to have some more trellising going over that way for the rest of the building over there. But in the winter, all these leaves should die off. I should be able to trim it back, and that will mean the sun will be able to hit here, so we'll get the heat we need in the winter. So we're trying to work with a seasonal plant that's going to give us shade when we need it, and also sun when we need it. And this is a good little spot because, like I said, this is a tropical plant. It's going to need heat. In the winter, all the heat that gets baked into the adobe wall here, that should be able to release and keep this thing warm. Eventually, when I get some more suckers coming out of it, I want to take this out of the pot and I want to make it go. You can see it's already got roots that are coming out of it and everything. We'll see if these hit in here, and we can make them do what they need to do and just go nuts in its own soil, and go from there. And yeah, these plants, like the woman that gave it to me, tend to have a pest, a certain type of worm, and that worm is not good for you because if you crush the worm and get it on your skin, it'll burn you. So the idea is we want to have lots of other types of fruits and flowers and everything around there. One, to have the diversity, so it's not just a one-stop shop for that particular type of worm, and hopefully have other pests that will be eating, or I should say other insects that will be eating those insects or bugs that are on that particular plant. So I've planted, long before I started this video series, I planted a whole row basically along all the edge of the fence, going from here all the way out to there, along the back edge, and back over to here. Now, with that, I planted those back in the fall. The idea with those seeds is I was given instructions from the farm that produces them, which is not even 30 minutes away from here. They suggest that those seeds need to basically either sit in a refrigerator over winter, or just put them out in the fall. I put them out in the fall along with some other grass seeds that I sent all the way back over there to try to create more biomass outside of my garden area that I can use to fill in gaps in here. I haven't seen a single seed come up yet. I haven't watered either. That might be part of the issue. Nonetheless, I see my cover crop seeds coming up. They're doing just great. And I see other flowers just as volunteers coming up. Like I said, I see these ones over here. I don't know if these are part of the cover crop mix that it came with or if those are volunteers. I'm getting lots of these little yellow flowers coming up. They're great. I'm getting these little purple flowers coming up. They're great. You know, they got little purple leaves on them. That's wonderful. I didn't plant these things here. I don't know where these are coming from. I actually ran out of seed right about in here. And you can see these yellow flowers are just doing the thing all over the place, but I ran out of seed right in here. And I haven't seen anything come up. I don't know. Were they eaten by birds? Could be. Were they eaten by something else? Could be. Are they just not going to grow? I don't know. I know they're good for this climate because they're from this area. Same with the grass back over in this area. I haven't seen anything out of it yet. So, in part, I'm a little disheartened because I really want to have a large diversity, especially want to have a lot of insectary plants to bring in a good balance of that kind of stuff. I want to have this place just buzzing with bees and other pollinators. I want to have this place producing lots of biomass, so I could come back here, cut it, and this would be great for compost, great for mulching, types of grasses which are particular to this area. Put down lots of seed for that. Nothing so far. I don't know, maybe I just need to water. I mean, that might be the case. Speaking of watering, permaculture always say start slow. Do something that's small, start small I should say, not slow. Start small and then learn from your mistakes over there. So I'm already seeing I need to beat a retreat. The forecast says no rain for the next month, even till the end of March is when the first predicted rain is going to come. Obviously that can change. We still have some pretty cool mornings. You get lots of dew, and that's why some of this cover crop is doing okay. But it's not really growing a lot. It's kind of just, you know, this is one little piece of rye. This is what it should be looking like. I mean, and this is, even though this is a little stunted for what it is, you see some vetch under here, it's doing good. But you see, again, edge, we're getting some shade. We have almost kind of not a real hugelkultur mound, but we have lots of wood here, and that's holding in a lot of moisture. So really we're looking at a situation where to get things established out here, I gotta have irrigation, I gotta water. Now, we're out in the country, we have a well that produces not a lot of water. It's a low production well, maybe, what are they saying? 80 gallons a minute, maybe that, not a whole lot, maybe 30 gallons a minute, I can't remember the number, but whatever it is, it's a low production well. So I could try to irrigate like crazy out here, and then we could all run out of water and we'll have nothing to eat or drink or even use for ourselves, and that's not a viable option. So I gotta look at how do I store rainwater. Now, in here, this part of the world, we do get rain events, and they're very, very, very big when they happen. And then you go months and there's nothing there. So I gotta get gutters. I gotta get gutters to collect over here, along the side over there, along that big roof, and direct everything down this way. But instead of just directing it, which it kind of is already, aside from those roofs over there, I gotta get these in such a way that they're gonna be fall into storage tanks and then I can use them for what I want. If I had all the time and resources in the world, I already have these up. I don't. So I might be getting some more funds soon to be able to do something with. And I'm kind of not sure what should I do first. Should I try to bring in dirt to bring in some areas to make some bigger dirt areas, some hugelkultur mounds? Or should I invest in gutters and rain collection? I'm really kind of thinking gutters and rain collection is going to take precedence here. Because even if I have all the dirt in the world, if I run out of irrigation, it's not going to mean much. So that's kind of my big thing. This little space here, I've shown this on some other videos. Once I get my materials in, I hope to have one of those IBCs, international shipping containers, that fits exactly right in here. This will be kind of a greenhouse area. Catch gutters up to this point, and then any water that comes out of those gutters will fall into a roof here. This will come down over to here, another gutter, catch it, and then fill up the IBC. When this fills up, this IBC overflows, goes into the swale, fills up all along there, and then we have seepage into the rest of the garden. That's the idea. Hold it and keep it. When I get over to here, here is our tank, and eventually I want to have gutters. Now you'll notice the height on this roof over here is really kind of inconvenient. This big section of roof over on this side is lower than over here, and I can't get water to go uphill by itself. So really this section back, I have to direct to this tank. Now this tank is full, not really full. When I first started these, when I got my fence up, water was up to about this level right here. Now it's down to right there. And that's just been filling up for the cows, doing some limited watering like today, but it's already going down. And the cows have been on my pool all this week. I've had to fill it up. This I think is the third time I filled this up. So obviously they're feeling that there's not a lot of water out there, so they're coming here to get it. I'm getting not a lot in return, honestly. But when this is empty, when this tank is empty, I want to spin it around, set up my gutters to catch water from here, direct it down to the tank, and then this can be filled and saved up from there. I do have some drip irrigation lines ready to hook up to this, It's not a lot of gravity feed, not a lot of pressure. We'll see if I can actually make it do anything or not without having to go the route of a pump, which I really don't want to do. I like to have just very slow drip, gravity fed irrigation, even though the pressure is ridiculously low. Basically, that thing has to be full for it to work. So I don't know, we'll see. Problems, but there's always solutions. All right, well, I hope you've had a good week. Tell me your comments. Tell me what you're doing in your garden, how you're trying to implement permaculture, and have a wonderful week. Be blessed.